My fiancée told me she wouldn't introduce me to her affluent friends because I was too much of a liability. I responded, "Got it." Then, I showed up at her exclusive country club as the owner's son, shaking hands with the very people she wanted to impress. Before we dive into the details, please hit the subscribe button and give a thumbs up if you enjoy stories like this. I'm a 32-year-old man, and I need to share this while it's still raw. My now ex-fiancée, Lauren, 29, just got a costly lesson in prejudice and elitism. We were together for 3 years, engaged for half a year. I'm a heavy equipment technician, solid work that pays well, but apparently not glamorous enough for Lauren's standards. She's in medical device sales, earns a good living, and recently gained entry to a high-end country club through her boss's endorsement. It came with a $50,000 initiation fee and $1,200 monthly dues, the whole elite package. The trouble began about 2 months ago when she joined. Suddenly, her weekends revolved around the club, golf with the ladies, fundraising brunches, cocktail evenings. I didn't mind. That world isn't my thing. I'd rather tinker with my '69 Mustang rebuild or go camping. Then came the conversation that flipped everything. Last Monday, she was getting ready for a black tie event at the club. "Lauren, I'll be home around midnight. Don't wait up," she said. "Another event without me. When do I meet these new friends of yours?" She paused, mid-lipstick, and gave me a look. "James, we need to discuss that." "Discuss what?" "Look, these people are different. They're sophisticated. They talk about hedge funds and yacht charters, not engine blocks or hiking trails. You'd feel out of place. And, to be honest," she hesitated, picking her words, "you'd make me look bad. Your accent, your job, your interests, they're too working class for this crowd." I just looked at her. 3 years together, living in my house. Yes, mine, inherited from my grandfather, fully paid off. Wearing the ring I gave her. And I'm a liability. "Got it," I said. "Don't take it like that. I'm shielding you from feeling awkward." "No, I understand completely." She left for her event. That's when I made a call I'd been dodging for years. Here's what Lauren didn't know. That country club she was so proud of? My father founded it. He started with a small golf course in 1985 and turned it into the elite institution it is now. When he passed 6 years ago, he left it to me and my sister, Margaret. I never brought it up because I wanted no part of it. My father and I didn't see eye to eye. He thought I was throwing my life away as a technician instead of chasing corporate dreams. We hardly talked in his final decade. Margaret handles the operations. I'm a silent co-owner who signs documents annually and collects dividends, most of which I donate to a local trade school. But after Lauren's words, I called Margaret. "Meg, I need to stop by the club this Saturday." "You're kidding. You haven't been there since Dad's memorial." "Things have changed. There's a charity gala Saturday, right? For the pediatric ward." Margaret, who oversees all membership approvals, knew exactly who Lauren was. "Why? Is this about your fiancé, the new member?" "I need to show up as myself." "Oh, this is going to be interesting. Want me to alert the staff?" "Definitely. Make it official." Saturday came. Lauren left early to help with the gala setup. I waited until the event was in full swing, then drove over in my '04 Ram. Same truck she always griped about parking in the driveway. Walking into the club felt strange. The staff recognized me instantly. Margaret had done her job. The valet nearly tripped over himself to grab my keys. The general manager, Walter, who'd worked for my dad for decades, barely kept his cool. "Mr. Callahan, what a surprise. Your sister said you might come." "Walter, good to see you. The place looks fantastic. Shall I take you to the grand ballroom?" "I know the way, but thanks." The ballroom was buzzing, maybe 200 people in their finest attire. I spotted Lauren right away, charming a group near the bar, including her boss, Diane, and some prominent members' spouses she'd mentioned. Before I could approach, a voice cut through the noise. "Jimmy Callahan, is that you?" It was Richard Thornton, my dad's closest friend, the club's current board chair, and practically family. He charged over, pulling me into a hug that probably shocked the room. "Margaret hinted you might show." "About time," he boomed. "Everyone, James Callahan is here." Heads turned, murmurs spread. The Callahan name means something here. Richard hauled me around, reintroducing me to folks I hadn't seen in years. Board members, old money families, people who knew me as a kid sneaking onto the fairways. Each introduction was the same. "Susan, you remember Frank's son, James? He's part owner now." Then I saw Lauren. She'd gone pale, her wine glass frozen mid-sip. Diane was talking to her, but Lauren just stared at me. I walked over, Richard still at my side. "Diane, great to see you," I said. "James, I didn't realize you were," she trailed off. "Wait, you two know each other?" Lauren spoke up, voice shaky. "This is my fiancée." The silence was heavy. Diane's eyes widened. The others glanced between us, piecing it together. Richard, bless him, made it worse. "Fiancé? Jimmy, you didn't say you were engaged. And to a new member. Lauren, you're fortunate. The Callahans practically built this place." I need some air," Lauren stammered, bolting for the patio. I didn't follow. Instead, I enjoyed the gala, bid $25,000 on a Napa Valley retreat for the hospital, and had real conversations with people she thought were too cultured for me. Turns out, they were curious about my work. One guy restores vintage motorcycles and grilled me about engine tuning. Another wanted tips on buying a cabin cruiser. Rich folks have interests too. Lauren texted me nonstop. "We need to talk. This isn't a joke. You deceived me. James, stop ignoring me." I didn't reply. I was too busy chatting with Diane, who revealed Lauren had described me as in logistics and was pushing for introductions to elite families. She said you were uneasy at social events. Did she know James? I'm horrified. If I'd known she was treating Frank's son like that. "Not your fault," I said. "People reveal themselves eventually." I left around 11 p.m. Lauren's car wasn't at my place, but she was there, pacing my living room. 3 years, she snapped. "You kept this from me for 3 years. I didn't keep anything from you. You never asked. You let me believe you were just a technician. I am a technician. I repair heavy machinery. That's my career. You own a country club. I inherited a share of one. Margaret has another share, and a trust holds the rest. I don't manage it. I barely think about it. James, do you know how humiliated I am? I told everyone my fiancé wouldn't fit in, and you're practically royalty here. You're humiliated? You said I'd make you look bad. That was before I knew. And that's the issue, Lauren. She tried everything. Tears, apologies, blame. Said I'd set her up to fail, that it wasn't fair, that I should have told her. Maybe she had a point about me not being upfront, but I didn't plan to expose her. I just wanted to be valued for who I am, not my inheritance. The real irony? If she'd introduced me as her technician fiancé, no one would have blinked. Richard knew my job. Walter knew. They respect hard work. The only one who thought I was a liability was her. Lauren, I was protecting our relationship, she said, voice soft, eyes pleading. We're still getting married in 4 months. This doesn't change us. It changes everything. You showed me who you are. I showed you who I am. We're not getting married. You're throwing this away over one comment. Over you not respecting me or my work. Take off the ring. That's when she unraveled. Screamed about the non-refundable deposits, her parents' booked flights, how I was destroying her life over nothing. I'll cover the deposits, I said. Your parents can use the tickets for a trip. You destroyed your own life when you decided I wasn't good enough. I'm keeping the ring, she yelled. It's mine. Keep it. Call it compensation for 3 years of pretending to be someone you're not. She threw it at me anyway and stormed out, tires screeching. The next morning, I had 30 missed calls from Lauren, 15 from her mother, Cynthia, and dozens of texts ranging from, I'm sorry, to you're heartless. Then Diane called. James, Lauren's no longer with our firm. That's harsh. This is personal, not work-related. She's been leveraging her club connections to mislead clients, promising access to influential families she didn't have. It's unethical. Karma works in mysterious ways. The entitlement only grew. On Monday, Cynthia rolled into my shop in her silver BMW, acting like she was slumming it. We need to resolve this maturely, she said. I'm working. Lauren's crushed. She had to move back home. Do you realize what you've done to her status? What I've done? That's bold. She made one small error. She said I was too humiliating to meet her friends because she didn't know my background. Any woman would want to flaunt a man with your wealth. There it was. The real problem wasn't Lauren's cruelty. It was that she'd been cruel to someone with assets. So it'd be fine if I was just a technician? Don't twist my words. Lauren deserves a life that matches her aspirations. Then she can earn it herself. I'm not a jackpot. Cynthia tried to broker a deal, offering a prenup, promising Lauren would learn to value me, even suggesting therapy. Cynthia, she's not coming back. Please leave before I call security. She left, fuming. Then things escalated. Tuesday, Margaret called. You won't believe this. Lauren tried to reserve the main ballroom for your wedding, claiming you'd reconciled and wanted the club as a grand gesture. Cancel it. Done. But I also had to suspend her membership. She racked up $9,000 in charges, wine, catering, over the weekend, saying it was for a Callahan family function. When billing checked, she claimed you approved it. The nerve was unreal. She was spending money she assumed I had. On Wednesday, Lauren's ex, Brandon, messaged me on LinkedIn. Man, heard about you and Lauren. Same thing happened to me. She learned my family owned a construction firm and suddenly wanted to reconnect. When I refused, she faked a pregnancy scare. Be careful. I saved the messages and sent them to my attorney friend, just in case. Thursday was the climax. Lauren showed up at the club during a women's golf tournament. Margaret called me. Security's got her at the entrance. She's claiming she's still your fiancée and demanding access. I'm coming. I arrived to find Lauren arguing with a guard, tears streaming, causing a scene as members pulled up. James, thank God. Tell them who I am. I know who you are. You're a former member who's no longer allowed here. You can't do this. I have connections here. They can meet you elsewhere. This is private property. This is unlawful. I paid my fees. Margaret stepped in. Your membership was through Diane's corporate sponsorship. Since you're no longer employed there and committed fraud against the club, it's revoked. You'll be refunded your personal contribution, $0. The growing crowd murmured. Some were filming. Lauren's carefully curated persona was collapsing publicly. This is harassment, she cried. On what grounds? Emotional trauma. Broken engagement. You promised me a future. That promise ended when you showed your true self. She played her last card. I'm pregnant. The crowd gasped. I laughed. No, you're not. How would you know? We haven't been intimate in 2 months. You've been too busy with your club life. Plus, Brandon warned me you'd pull this. Her fake tears turned to fury. You're all seeing this abuse. He's shaming me in public. Richard Thornton stepped forward. Ma'am, you're trespassing. Leave now, or we'll involve the police. That broke her. She stormed to her car, screaming, You'll pay for this, James. I'll make sure everyone knows who you really are. 3 weeks later, the fallout was intense for Lauren. Her public meltdown was caught on camera, and someone uploaded it to TikTok with the caption, Social climber learns her lowly fiancé co-owns the club she barred him from. It got 2.5 million views locally. Lauren tried to spin it, posting a lengthy Instagram story about being deceived and betrayed by a man hiding his true identity. It backfired. Comments tore her apart. You called him a liability, but you're the snob. Imagine losing a guy like that over your ego. Her social standing in our mid-sized city? Ruined. Cynthia called once more, pleading with me to stop the backlash. I told her I wasn't doing anything. Lauren's actions had consequences. Professionally, it was worse. Diane had warned others in their field about Lauren's shady tactics. She couldn't land another sales job. Last I heard, she was peddling essential oils for an MLM, posting about empowerment and overcoming betrayal. The ring? She tried to sell it, only to learn it wasn't worth what she thought. I'd bought it from a jeweler friend, stunning, but with lab-grown stones and silver, not platinum. Cost me $2,800, but she expected $25,000. Another miscalculation. Here's the unexpected part. Margaret and I have grown closer. We started weekly dinners, talking about Dad, the club, and things we'd avoided for years. She convinced me to get involved with the club's new skilled trades initiative, advising on scholarships and internships for kids who want hands-on careers. I've also met someone new at the trade school where I teach equipment repair. Sarah's a carpentry instructor, couldn't care less about country clubs, and loves my truck. When I shared the story on our third date, she nearly spit out her coffee, laughing. So she thought you weren't good enough for her fancy friends, but you own the place? Pardon, I corrected. That's the best payback I've ever heard. Please tell me it's on video. I showed her the TikTok. She watched it 4 times, cackling. When she says she's pregnant, and you just say, No, you're not. I'm done. We've been dating 2 months. She came to the club for Margaret's birthday dinner, no fuss, wearing jeans and a sweater. She chatted with everyone like they were old friends and had Richard Thornton geeking out over her refurbished '76 Jeep by the night's end. Richard pulled me aside. This one's different, Jimmy. She sees you, not your bank account. He's right. Sarah doesn't care about the inheritance or the club. She cares that I make her smile, that I rebuilt her mom's generator for free, and that I foster dogs on weekends. The real me, not the portfolio. Lauren made one last attempt, emailing me about how she's evolved and deserves another shot. She's in therapy, doubtful, and loved me for me, bigger doubt. She even wrote, "I'm willing to forgive your secrecy if you forgive my missteps." The audacity. Forgive me? I didn't reply, just sent it to Margaret, who laughed until she was breathless. The ego, the nerve, and the sheer gall of this woman. Looking back, Lauren did me a favor. If she hadn't shown her true colors, I might have married her, spending my life with someone who looked down on me until she learned about the money. That's not love, it's a deal. Now I'm with someone who'd be with me even if I was just a technician scraping by. Because that's who I am at my core. A guy who loves fixing machines, restoring classics, and camping under the stars. The inheritance is just a bank balance I rarely touch. The club? I only go for family events or the occasional fundraiser. But when I do, showing up in my work boots and flannel, members treat me with respect, not for my father's legacy, but because they saw what happens when someone underestimates me. Lauren's still posting about her healing journey online, painting herself as the victim, but everyone knows the truth. She misplayed her hand, thinking she was leveling up, only to realize she'd been with her winning card all along. As Sarah puts it, karma's not always fast, but when it hits, it's glorious. Couldn't agree more. What do you think of this? Share your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more true stories.